Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Locum23, joining me for Fallout Shelter on the PC. When the Irish eyes are glowing, it's not easy being green. Help nearby settlers deal with a strange epidemic. Nearby settlers have become very sick following the annual St. Patrick's Day festivities, with some reported cases of ghoulification. This might be, food poisoning, but we should investigate the case. It's an... And the thing never scrolls, so we'll get to that here in a minute. You see this line? You see this line outside of our vault? You see this? This is what it looks like when there's endless summer on your channel. When there's not endless summer on your channel, that line's gone. So notice this week, Choices episodes are down to an all-time low. I haven't seen them that low in quite a while. Because endless summer was inflating the channel. And then everyone's like, oh, the strategic, the tons of voices, all the things are gone. Oh, well, we're just going to watch Freshmen. And then Love Hacks is at an all-time low. There's some Fallout videos with more views than Love Hacks this week. Help us, dwellers. Our community is being ghoulified. We set quarantine zones in the basement, but it keeps spreading. We haven't heard from our leader in days. Would you care to refreshments before you investigate? No, thanks. We'd just be fine. We'd rather... Oh... We'd rather just see the afflicted. Yeah, looks very green. Oh yeah, we dyed them to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Did you ever think that maybe the dye in the drink might be poisoning your settlers? Did you ever think about that? Look, guys, we've already solved this case. On to the next episode. Next time on... But no, seriously. So I got the Dynasty Warriors up. I love it because pretty much I played quite a bit of it. Actually, let's go to the top for once. Let's go to the top. They said the basement's quarantined. Let's go to the top. We'll go to the non-quarantine zone, see what's up here. One Piece... shit, I'm trying to think of the name. I pretty much on Twitter... it was about a month ago, though. But on Twitter, I linked a bunch of the Steam games I have. One of which was kind of like a Dynasty Warriors-esque One Piece. And then all of a sudden people are like, oh my god, Dynasty Warriors Unleashed! And I love it. I love the game. I love the Transformers one. It's very hard to decide between the two. However, Dynasty Warriors does feel like it has a lot more fluidity. I also feel like it has a lot less cooldown restrictions for play. However, Transformers does have a little base and a lot of micromanaging, so... However, when you go to Dynasty Warriors, it does have kind of a coin wall. You got to do a lot of campaign grinding. So, unless you sell a lot of your stuff, but then you need some of that stuff to upgrade your stuff. And then once you hit the levels, I was all the way to the end of Chapter 1. It was against Bailu, which everyone was like, okay, so pretty much if you have ever played Dynasty Warriors... He is a badass. He's got, like, God mode, okay? So, Bailu whooped my ass within, like, 3 seconds. It had been no difficulty scaling whatsoever. So, I go in there, and I'm using my wizard, and doof, dead. And I'm like, holy shit. So, I went out, I leveled a couple characters, I went back. One was 20, the other one was 13, 14. Did pretty good. Well, then we leveled our account up. So you gotta level your account up as well as your warriors. We leveled our account up, and finally we were able to get friends and support. So we went in there with like a level 32 support. Holy shit, it made it a hell of a lot easier. And then finally we were able to start soloing it without support. So that was a plus. So yeah, and if you excuse me, I have some nice, warm, toasty Earl Grey tea. Oh, yes. I'm trying to avoid coffee, and that's very hard for me right now. Basically, with the hospitalization lately and everything, I still have what's wrong with me. And literally, okay, so let me long story short this shit for you, okay? So I go to the hospital because I was feeling, oh, hold on. Hey there, have you come to rescue? You're not ghouls, only one of you is a ghoul. Can I have your ghoul? Can he come home to us? Some here have already turned to ghouls. Oh, I think I'll draw my sorrows to a pint of green beer. No! No, put it down! Did you do anything out of the ordinary these past few days? Is the green beer really that good? First, we need to figure out what's causing all this. Beats me, sure you don't want a pint of glowing green? No! It's... Oh, you're a dumbass. The dye is probably, Radiation. Yeah, you're a dumbass. And he really does look, he's like he's Irish. He's got the little facial hair and everything. So, okay, so long story short, because we don't got much more time. Unless I discuss it in another episode. I might have to. I go to the hospital, right? I basically felt like my chest was being crushed. I was also being, like, something was around my neck. So you go to the hospital, which was already an amazing journey in and of itself. Not really. One, they didn't fasten me down in the ambulance. Two, oh god, what was it? Oh, they didn't put up the handrails? So not just did they not fasten me, they didn't put up the handrails, so I'm like gripping the stretcher. So we get to the hospital, and then he starts talking about hospital food. Oh, thank God, I want to really talk about hospital food. I feel like I'm dying, right? To the point where, you know, when you have people that are in your house, and they have to call 911 because you look like you're dying, you feel like you're dying, and you complain because you're dying. You know, yeah. So, this is terrible. All we wanted was to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and the drinks, lots of green beer. Now look at us. The green beer is making you sick. Are you saying this biohazard isn't a brand of food coloring? Wow. 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 Can we just kill you now? That's like saying, hey, I thought bleach was a really great vanilla drink. Really? Oh my god. So I go to the hospital, and he starts talking about ambulance food. I wasn't really happy about that. Or the hospital food. And, so then, they do blood tests, and they hook you up to the machine, and then they hook you up to the oxygen. So the doctor, or the nurse comes in, she goes, how's that oxygen treating you? And I'm like, well, it's not really doing anything. She goes to check the hose. The son of a bitch wasn't even plugged in, okay? I want you to realize this. Wasn't even plugged in. Adding anything to the pint of gas is crime. So the oxygen hose that was in my nose was not even plugged in, okay? This is a hospital that, by the way, has 2 out of 5 stars, okay? Just to throw that out there. I will never, I don't care if I'm dying, go to that hospital again, because I'll end up probably dying at the hospital because of negligence. Ooh, yeah, there's a big green one. Hold on. There. That's the leader? I don't think we'll get much from him. Yeah, it's because he's a big green leader. So long story short, they did a bunch. They took like 6 vials of blood the first time. Then they come back about 2 hours later. They're like, okay, can you pee in a cup? Well, certainly. All right, I'll pee in a cup. And, but they don't give you the cup. So I'm like, after sitting there, and at this time I have to actually pee. You know, normally it's like, oh, I don't think I can pee in a cup. I need something to drink. No, I really had to go. So I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and sitting there. They come back, they take another 4 to 6 vials of blood. I'm sitting there. Finally, I'm like, I looked at the nurse, and I'm like, can I have my cup now? And she's like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, I was told to pee in a cup. I really need to go to the bathroom, so either let me go to the bathroom, or I'm gonna not pee in a cup? So finally, they let me pee in a cup. They didn't tell me the urine results. They didn't tell me the blood results. It's just, well, the reason why we did it was to make sure you didn't have any cardiac damage. That was why you were here. Oh. So, and then the IV, they only gave me a third of an IV, and they took a total of 12 vials of blood out of me. 12 big vials. Took 12 vials out of me and only gave me a third of a bag of IV. So doctor comes in, sticks his head in between the curtains, right? I guess I'll do this while I'm talking about this. So sticks his head in between the curtains, says, well, we've checked you, you got no cardiac damage, we don't know what's wrong with you, but we feel we're comfortable enough to, and by the way, I had not been on a heart machine this whole time, you know, to check and see if it was a heart, you know, a murmur, or basically any blood pressure abnormality. So that was another thing that's like throwing up red flags to me. And they're like, well, we've given you 2 things, you know, in between giving you blood or taking blood from you. We've given you 2 things of steroids. What we need you to do is just follow up with your doctor. And I'm like, well, what is this? And he goes, I don't know. He goes, there's a lot of people coming with pleurisy or lung issues. And I'm like, no, if I have a lung issue, it's called an asthma attack. Okay? So I know what an asthma attack feels like, trust me. I know what a lot of breathing issues feel like, trust me. This wasn't an asthma attack. This wasn't something lung-oriented. This is, you know, the center of your chest. And that's how it felt. It felt like someone was crushing, and then also someone had their hands around my throat, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. And so they tell you, well, if you feel bad, just come back to the emergency. No, no. But I'm still feeling, kind of under the weather. I'm taking some steroids, some prednisone, what they give you to make you feel better. Bullshit. It does not do its job as advertised. So I've got to go see the doctor on Monday. Follow up with him. He's a pretty good doctor. I just couldn't get in. I made an appointment at the time, it was for refills and to go back in and see him, just get some checkups. Because it's about that time of year when I start really pushing myself physically. I hadn't yet, just in case you were wondering. Wasn't one of those, oh, you see, he's starting to push himself, it's probably heart, or, he's fat. No, it's just, no, I hadn't started yet. I hadn't started. And usually about my birthday, which is on June, I go out on my bike and I ride as hard and as fast and as long as possible. Last year I rode for about a good 12 to 16 hours. I left at about 4 a.m., didn't come back till about 8 a.m., so give or take. And by the time you come back, I mean, I go for tiring myself out. I go for every year I jot down how far I go and things like that. And I want to see, how am I pushing myself? Am I keeping up to my older self? Do I still got it in me, Because you only got so many years of that, right? I'm not 50 yet, but, sure feel like 50 recently. Not 40 yet. Don't sure as hell feel like it, though. But I have, when I was younger, I did do some stupid shit, so, and I took some time off my life. Not like illicit drugs or drinking or anything like that, but, that is a story for another time. So, without further ado, I hope you all did enjoy the video. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Check out the other content on the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot of Most Wanted as well. We've already done, like I said, the Dynasty Warriors and Transformers games. Both games are fun. I'm loving it. Astronaut Nest, I don't know if more people want it. Did get a little bit of good views. Not much feedback at all from the community, so I don't like doing something and forcing something on the community that will kind of like dilute the rest of the good content. So let me know. Otherwise, I may do one other video. Let the community side, and then after that, just drop it. I'll keep playing it myself, every day. Log in, do your research, do your energy, and then just done. It takes 5 minutes. So it's one of those games, So, until next time, stay well, stay awesome, and I'll catch you next episode. Peace out.